The people who invested as an investor, the maximum growth we have seen in one trade was around more than 50,000, 56,000. You have seen $56,000 in one trade, and then they left, and then so you prepare your forecast, then you contact the potential customers, and they give you to do a trade because you're expecting something good to happen in some company, and then they invest, and then they make money or lose money, and you keep your commission. Now, if they lose money, do you still get your commission?
Yeah, we get our commission based off of the size of the trade. So the more money they use in a trade, the more commission we get per se.
Is it linked with the success of the trade?
Obviously, the more successful he is, the more money I'm going to get. Okay. So like if he comes in, does 2 trades, loses them both, leaves, I only get commission for 2 trades. If he comes in, makes 2 trades, wins, he's going to make 10 trades.
You know, what I meant was that, okay, if I came in, I did 1 trade only, I made million dirham, for example.
Not as helpful as if someone with a 200,000 dirham account, or like he made 200,000, would have made. I probably would have made more money off of him than I made off of you.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand how.
So we trade, where our commission comes from is from the spread. So you know when you go to like Al Ansari or like an exchange, right? And you're exchanging dirham for rupee or dirham for dollar, right? The rate changes, right? So we make our money like they do, like the exchange rates do. That small little fraction of a price that gets taken off the top because it gets lost in exchange is what we make.
Still not clear. Okay, so if someone is bringing money, and so the more number of transactions he does, means you get more money.
Yeah, the more money I make.
Okay, so this means it's a fixed amount. If they lose money,
you get less if they lose their money than if they win.
Okay. So how do you? What's the percentage?
Okay, so in the mainly because we're in the GCC, we trade gold. So like a lot of my clients only trade gold. So for gold, the spread rate is $21, right? So if I'm going into a trade of 1,910 right now, that's the gold price. So for me to gain money, the price of gold has to go up a certain amount of. So I'm buying it at a loss. I'm buying it at minus $21, let's say, right? So that minus $21, when the price of gold goes up, it starts going to a plus number, right? Because he already entered the trade with a lot size of 1, so the size of the trade is 1 lot, I've made $8 because of 1 lot. So that's one. Usually people don't trade with huge lot sizes or volume sizes of trade. So he'd go into like 4 trades a day. So in 4 trades, he would have accumulated a total of 2 lots. So I made $14. That's how the commission base works, right? And then there's also commission of if I'm cold calling or if I'm approaching a client that is not registered in our system and I get him to the company, as a sales person, I take 5% of whatever his deposit is from the company. So he can trade. He's coming into the company, paying 10,000. So now it's him in the company. I take from the company 5% of the deposit.
Yeah. So that's okay. So does this rate of commission changes from company to company, or is it fixed?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So other companies, they do it off of just lot size. Other companies know that, it's more reasonable to keep the client than it is for me to just. It's more beneficial for me to get rid of the client than it is to keep him. So they'll do a higher commission on deposits, and they won't give you anything for trades.
So the clients are given to the salespeople by the company, or they have to cold call and arrange their own?
Right. So the clients, there are 2 ways. It's either you get a list of numbers and names, full stop. You don't know these people, you don't know where they're from, you're picking up the phone, dialing the number, saying hello, and now it's a game of just pure sales, if you're able to get them interested or not. And then there are companies that give you spreadsheets with interested clientele. So for example, our company operates on a basis of, if you want to know something, contact us. So I'm not gonna come here tell you, oh, come into trade, and you're gonna swear at me or call me a scammer. No, I'm here offering my services. If you want to join, you load up the website T4 Trade, make an account. It takes an email, your phone number, and 2 minutes of your time. You make the account. You want to get started, you can go ahead and get started. Contact customer support. We call you. We help you figure out stuff. Okay, you want to learn, this is what you do. You don't want to learn, you just want someone to manage your account, this is what you do. You want to feel safe, here are our licenses. We make it easy for you. But some companies, you pure cold call. So out of 50 phone calls, maybe 3 people are going to be like, okay, yeah, sure, call me later, and he'll close the phone. So that's where the sales skills get built
okay,
up.
so how do you get the attention of someone? Because I'll tell my experience. I have received few calls, and I feel like those people are sleepy, and they already have given up.
Very fair.
And they are just calling just to tick my name from the list.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the recipe? You call me. How do you hook me immediately?
So obviously we have to identify which company we're coming from first off. So I'll start the phone call by like, hello sir, how are you doing? My name is Mustafa from T4 Trade, right? And then this is if I'm cold calling or which one do you want first? The cold call or just whichever. So right now what I do is, what I used to do with this company is I'd call them up, be like, hi, my name is Mustafa from T4 Trade. It seems to me that you've already created an account and you're interested in trading. What can I help you with? So it can be as simple as, oh, I'm having an issue with uploading my documents, to, okay, I need you to teach me how to trade completely. So I'll be like, okay, what language do you speak? Arabic, English?
Then you take on from there. So what about the cold call?
Cold calling, you have to, it's all based off of how you can try to make the person on the other end of the line more interested than you are. So I have to approach the conversation. I have to give him 3 key points off the bat, right? My name, the company, what we can offer. So I'm not gonna approach someone off a cold call and be like, oh, listen, the price of gold is this number, come join. No, I'm gonna call them up, be like, how's your day? Hope everything is well. I'm calling from this company, and honestly, I wanted to see if you have any interest whatsoever in trade. If they ask, what do you mean by trade? I'd be like, the trade in stocks or commodities. From that question, I'll be able to know, okay, is this guy interested, or does he just want me to, shut up and leave, right? A lot of times, I'm calling at a inconvenient time, right? So someone's waiting for another phone call, or he's going into a meeting, or he's in the middle of traffic. It's not convenient for the client to have the mental capacity to pay attention to me right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell him, okay, listen, I'm going to send you the company's outline, or the link to the company, and a folder that explains what we do, and I'll call you back in a week. You mind? If the client says no, perfect. I'll send it to him on WhatsApp. I have to make sure that he lets me send it to him on WhatsApp, because if I just send people stuff on WhatsApp, they're not going to open it. So I have to make sure, okay, yeah. So I text him, yo, this is Mustafa from T4 Trade. This is why I'm contacting you. Please have a look, and I'll call you in a week's time. And I leave the chat. Next week, I come back to it. Same guy, pick up the phone. Hi, sir, how you doing? I try to drop hints as to what happened in our conversation. So if I asked him about something in our conversation, like, oh, so what do you do for work, or where are you staying at, or traffic, or whatever it is, I have to make sure that he knows that I remember him. So I try to make the friendly feeling come into the phone call so we can make this longer. And then, yeah, okay, so he remembers who I am, now it's perfect. Okay, so did you have a look at the brochure I sent you? Yeah, perfect. Do you have any questions for it? You'd be like, yeah, I really didn't get what your company does. Okay, so my company is responsible for running your account. So be it you want to run it yourself, or you want us to just run it for you and generate the...
Okay.
Yeah.
Please share some of the bad experiences.
Bad experiences with answering phone calls?
On the cold calls.
No, it gets bad. Like, it gets bad. Like, it reaches a point where some people are just having a really bad day, right? Obviously, when I pick up a phone call, it's customer service, or be it, general human decency, I'm not going to pick up the phone and swear at someone. But it's happened multiple times where they'll be like, oh, yeah, you are this, you are that. You haven't even heard what I said. Like all you heard was trading or investing in Arabic, and you assumed this person is unholy. But it depends. There are a lot of bad phone calls that do end in very bad ways. A lot of threats, a lot of back and forth talk that is not even worth it. But I don't take it to heart, because it's a grinding process. So again, out of the 150 people or 200 people that I call in a day, everyone knows that I'm not getting 200 people to sign up with me.
Yeah, so generally what is the conversion rate?
So per every 100 people, as cold calling goes, I'd have 3 people that I can contact again the next week. 4 people. And that's like the perfect number. Because when you keep compiling it, it'll reach where after the first 2 months of you working, the third month is, no, I'm calling, 100 people I remember calling today. Tomorrow I'm calling another 100 people that I remember communicating with the week before. And the pile just keeps getting bigger. So your clientele database keeps getting bigger.
Okay, so let's get back to this idea of having influencers, or so that's interesting. So you identified some influencer and you think they can do something. So how do you contact you? Send them a message on WhatsApp or
Instagram? Most of them do respond to Instagrams. If not, I'll find someone that knows them, friends, or reach out to someone online. Be like, yeah, I'd just like to get in contact with this person. Can you make that happen? Yeah, sure. And
who's that?
I have some friends working in Red Bull, for example.
Red Bull.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have contacts.
Yeah, I know people. Yeah, that work in certain companies, tech companies, Red Bull, event organization companies, models, whatever it may be. I'll find a way to get to this person. So, there's a saying that you're always 3 people away from anyone in the world. So you can connect almost, and it's literal, and especially when you come from like an Arab country. It's not very difficult to reach someone. It's very difficult to have their attention, for sure. But that's where the sales skill comes in. That's where networking comes in. Yeah, like I can have you sit down with someone, but you're not really gonna have to talk to them. That's where you putting the sales effort of, okay, I'm gonna pitch him the idea in a way that he's going to be interested.
So about the influencers, so basically you talk with the influencers and try to do a campaign with them.
Yeah.
And when you say campaign, means how would they have to shout out in every video?
Not necessarily.
Or what?
We at least make sure that they'll benefit from this. So be it investing wise or not. So we'll have them first try out the company, so that when they recommend it to their family or friends, or even later on to their fans, then at least it's coming from a place of, no, I've tried it. It's not a scam. I'm not tarnishing someone's reputation. Because as simple as it is, a lot of these influencers will tell you, okay, sure, pay me $2,000 and I'll post this on my story, right? They have no idea how many people are going to actually visit the link. They just want the money from you. When it comes from a place of, okay, no, I'm using this platform, for example, Google Maps or Waze, I'll recommend it because I use it. Waze doesn't pay me to tell you that, oh yeah, it's a better application. But if someone tells me, okay, how are you loading up the place, or how are you getting there? Tell them I use Waze because it shows me traffic. It shows me where the traffic cameras are. It shows me if there are any accidents. It's more comfortable.
How much you pay generally to influencers?
There's no set rate.
I know, but give me something.
We give them a percentage of revenue.
Let's talk about, you brought in some influencer from Instagram, for example, having 100,000 followers.
Perfect.
Yeah. Then.
Okay, they run a campaign with us. Again, so some influencers will do a package where it's family and friends, right? So they won't put it on their story, they won't publicize it to their fans. So in that case, they'll get a higher percentage because it's clear that the amount of money that's going to be put is hefty. So if the influencer is going to go in with 20,000, his friend is going to go in with 50,000. We know that the quantities is not as good as the quality in this case. So we'll give the influencer more money, more piece of the cut. But if it's coming from a person who's going to just broadcast it, then what we generally do is they'll get a cut of total money brought in. So the people that are registering from his end are registering through a link. So we can be able to identify who brings in this customer.
Okay. So there is commission only, you don't pay any fix.
Again, some of them do ask for something as like a fixed rate. So then we give them a fixed rate of 10,000 dirhams and then we take off of the commission. But generally what we tend to do is commission based, because I never know if the person actually cares or not about my business, which is the trading business, and he doesn't know if I care about what he's doing. So we have to reach a point where, okay, if you're going to bring me benefit, then I'll make sure to give it back. But if you're not going to bring me benefit, then it's not worth me paying the price.
Okay, that is fantastic.